Well, my friends, I finally did it. I finally broke down and bought myself a pressure washer, and I'm so excited to go pressure wash everything. And I thought as I got this, I was wondering when I bought it what it was going to be like to get it and get it assembled. And so I thought, what better way to help other people than just do a quick video of me taking it out of the box, getting it assembled, so that you know exactly what you're getting into when you buy this pressure washer. So a couple of things to just talk about is this is one of the most popular pressure washers on Amazon. It's a 1700 PSI and 1.2 GPM. I don't know what GPM is, but maybe you do if you're shopping for this. The premium electric pressure washer, there's convenient on and off switch. So there's a convenient on and off foot switch pedal, which I thought was pretty interesting. Turbo nozzle for deep cleaning, and then large removal detergent tank. So I'm going to take a look at all of those pieces and accessories with you, and mostly for this video just help give you an understanding of what it's going to be like to actually put this thing together, because obviously it comes in this fairly, I mean, it's a big box, but it's definitely not the size of a pressure washer all put together. So we're going to see what that takes to get it put together. Let's open up the box. Right at the top, we have a owner's manual for the pressure washer. Probably pretty standard stuff in here. Operating instructions, part lists, how to plug it in. There's a breaker on the plug. There's the pedal. It talks about the on-off pedal. Where to put the soap. Taking a break 5 minutes or more. Shutting down and cleaning up. There's a lot of things to know about this thing. Winterizing and long-term storage, which is going to be important in maintenance instructions. Cleaning tips, deck cleaning, house sidings. Gives you some tips for each of the things that you might be using it for. And then some troubleshooting if it's not working the way that it needs to. So I'm going to actually read a good portion of this so that I can give you some of this information at the end of the video that's crucial, so that you don't have to spend your time reading it or worrying or wondering what you can do and can't do with this machine. Now, there's also some warranty information that comes with it as well. All right, so the first piece that I pull out is the handle right here. Now, the handle is aluminum frame and plastic handle. So this feels, I mean, it's super light, really, really light. These feet right here are aluminum, and then everything else is plastic. All the components are plastic on it. I'm also noticing some organizational options right here on the handle. So we have the turbo nozzle, we have the 15-degree nozzle, and the soap nozzle. And then there's these little buttons right here for assembly. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it's a toolless assembly. I'm going to push this to the side just a little bit and keep digging in here. So we also have the, I'm guessing this is part of the actual wand maybe that we're using, or an extender. It doesn't say what it is on it. It just says the max PSI. So we'll figure out what that is, but it does have quick release, pressure quick release things on both ends. So we'll take a look at that in just a second. Then we also have the handle or the trigger for the pressure washer. So we can open this baby up. Yeah, so this is where the water is going to come into the handle and then go out that way. I'm wondering right now, yep, this is part of the handle. So the handle comes in two pieces. There's some pieces that are, I don't know, they fit perfectly into the handle. That's why I know that that's where they go. So once I push that in, that's interesting. There doesn't seem to be anything. Oh, I bet you I turn it. Yep, and that locks it into place. So those little tabs are what locks the handle into place, and that's cool. That's a good size handle for the pressure washer. All right, next we got this little box unit right here. I'm guessing this is where most of the small pieces are. We've got, of course, the wheels. Lots of plastic coming off of this, the packaging plastic coming off of this thing. Not always the best Not always the best, but I also don't know how you avoid it. Then you also have the actual pressure hose right here. That's going to hook to the handle and then to the actual unit. And then we have another wheel. And then that's it inside this little box. I'm just going to search around for anything else before we dive into the actual unit. So now, here's the actual full unit. I think it sits this direction. I think that's going to be right. There's some plastic on these posts right here, so we can pull that off. It just occurred to me that 1.2 gallons per minute, that's the GPM, so that makes sense. All right, so on the actual unit, we have the power cord, which seems to have some decent length to it. I don't know exactly how long it is. I could take a look at that and let you know. There's also, like I mentioned, a breaker on the plug-in right here. So if for any reason water hits this, those breakers will pop before it does any damage on your house, or hopefully breaks or pops the breakers inside your house. There's also a removable stowing tub here, so you can stow soaps, the cord, different stuffs inside this tub, and it can just rest back here in the back. That's really nice because this just comes with a lot of accessories and things going on. Also the hose and the cord, all that sort of stuff. You also have the soap unit. So you can take this soap unit off, but I'm not going to do that right now because it's a little cinch pin. But you can put soap in this depending on what you're washing. Make sure that the soap is safe for the surface that you're washing, and you can put it in this and it will mix it in with the water as well. Now here is where, on the side here is where you connect your garden hose to the pressure washer. So you're just going to screw your garden hose right on there to the side, and then this right here is where you're going to connect the pressure hose. So it looks like each end on the pressure hose is exactly the same. So basically what you're going to do here is you're going to push it in. Now there is a tight ring, tight O-ring, and it should be that way because there's a lot of pressure running through this thing. So this thing is a little bit challenging to get screwed on, and you do need to use some strength. Be very careful. In pressure washers that I've used in the past, this little nozzle right here gets cross-threaded and it gets stripped out, and that is not a good thing. So once you have it on there, it should actually screw on really smoothly. If it's giving you any resistance at all, don't keep going, just straighten it out, make sure you're not cross-threading. Now here's the cool part of this thing too, is this on-off pedal right here in the front of the unit. That's really helpful because your hands are full when you're doing this. You don't need to set the wand down to press the on button for this unit. Now, this is cool. This thing just snaps right in. I'm now very, very hopeful and thinking that this is going to be a toolless assembly. So that just snaps right in. That's your handle to your unit. Now we also have the wheels, and the wheels just have this little cotter pin on the back side of them. So you just pop that out. That's my guess. And then they should go, there's these little holes right here on the side of the frame. And my guess is that they just pop right in there, and then the cotter pin goes on the other side. Okay, so this wheel is very simple. It just comes with a couple of washers on the actual wheel axle and the cotter pin. So I take the cotter pin out and pull one of the washers off. The washer that has a little flange on it, we want to keep that on. That goes over the hub of the wheel. And then we can just take this unit and put it right through this hole on the frame, right there, which pops this, this piece on the outside of the, or pops this little axle on the other side. And then we put this washer in like this, and the cotter pin goes in, and then those wheels are locked in place and ready to go. Okay, these here are two separate nozzles. This is the soap nozzle, and then this is the 15-degree nozzle right here. So those are two pretty standard nozzles. And then you have what they call the turbo nozzle right here. What happens is when you use this one, there's a little rotating head in there. So as the pressure comes, the water starts to spiral and it will work on whatever you're spraying a little bit more. Now, this is also your hose attachment filter. So this is important to get on the unit, and I'll show you that in just a second, but there's often all kinds of debris inside your hose or even inside the pipes of your house, and this protects all of that from going into the pressure washer and damaging it. So if we turn the unit around right here, this is the hose inlet right here. What we do is we just take this guy and we just screw it right onto the unit just like this. This does a couple of things. So obviously it filters it like I talked about, but now we have a nice loose nut that we can put our hose on, and we can rotate it here rather than having to rotate the hose. Now when we want to attach the wand, it's obviously just very similar to where we attach the hose to the unit. We want to pull this safety cap off and take the hose and put it right on the threads. And once again, we just want it to go on nice and smooth. It should be a very smooth twist action on this. You shouldn't need to force it or anything, because you don't want to cross thread and ruin this connection right here. You want it to be really nice and safe. So now the wand is connected to the unit as well. Now all of the attachments are quick release. So you see this pressure quick release right here. It's similar to what you would have on an air compressor. So if you take these attachments, these nozzle attachments, all you have to do is pull back this sleeve, pop the attachment on, and the pressure fitting's in place. So when the pressure comes in, it's gonna push it forward, tighten that O-ring in there, and so there'll be no leakage there. The nice thing is you can quickly switch between attachments because of how convenient that quick release is, the pressure quick release is. Now I want to show you these. These are really cool. These hold your attachments so you can keep track of them. So this one, this turbo nozzle just pops down into that clip right there and fits really snug. And then these smaller nozzles just pop right into these little rubber placements right here, so that they're, so that they're always readily available for you. You can use them at any time and they're not getting lost in the mix of everything. Now, one more really cool, thoughtful thing about this unit is back here you have a place to wind the power cord. So I can basically take the power cord and wind it onto these two pegs, which I'm gonna do now. Now, if I've been storing this and I have the cord wound up, I have this peg right here that I can actually rotate all the way in and just pull the cord off. So I don't have to take a bunch of time unwinding this cord. The other cool, thoughtful thing that they did around storage here is they have this little plug thing right here. So you can actually take your plug and just push it in like that, and it holds it in place. You know how annoying it is to have cords all over the place and this thing dangling and flying in the wind. So that's really cool too. This is my first review, reaction, assembly of this thing. Now I'm gonna go out and take it, use it, and do a video about what it's like to use it.